Hello, Snack Pack. Welcome back to Travel Snacks. Or if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Allison, and Travel Snacks is a channel about Travel Snacks is about a lot of different things, but mainly it's about living your life to the fullest, whether it's traveling or eating good food or making connections or being resourceful. But I think most of it revolves around just doing some things that are outside of the norm where you can be a little unstuck instead of just staying in like a regular, uh, rigid lifestyle that you're not really happy with. So, Travel Snacks, we're a family. The Snack Pack is a family, and we are all together just trying to make each other um, exist in a greater world. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, let me put on my glasses and see who's in the house. Uh-oh. Hold on. The chat kind of stopped. So let me go back to refresh. Okay, this is, I don't know if there's any more after this, but I see Angel Wings. First. Yes, you are first. And Tammy. Oh, Tammy, hey, from Georgia. And Grant is in the house. Grant is one of our moderators. He and Robbie do a great job. I think Robbie's having some technical difficulties, so he may or may not be. Oh, there's Robbie. There's Robbie. So Grant and Robbie are our moderators. If there's any questions that I miss, you can certainly ask in the chat, and one of them will probably be able to answer it. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? Yes, I am live. Hey, Ted. Hey, Angela. Angela, we need to talk soon. Hey, Brenda from Walbridge, Ohio. I haven't been to Ohio yet. Hey, Jackie. I'm going to talk about Jackie and Grant in a second. Hey, Joseph from Florida. Hey, Thomas from Northern New York State. Hey, Roderick. How are you? Here, 8. Hey, Lynn from Australia. Awesome. Hey, Jim. Yes, Angela. Yes. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you being here on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, HDJ, how are you? Hey, CSR from Old Faithful. Awesome. That is so cool. I never made it to Old Faithful because the time when I went up to to Yellowstone, literally the day before I was going to go, it shut down. So I never made it. It's still on my little bucket list. Hey, Mark, how are you? From Wisconsin. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. Let me see what the temp is today. I've had a very eventful day. Currently, it's 99 degrees, but I know it was higher earlier. So it's been very hot. It's been very hot and sweaty. Hey, Daya, how are you? Hey, Holly Fitting from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Awesome. Oh, it's hot there too. Oh my gosh. It seems to be hot in a lot of places, but some places are still a little bit chilly, which is just crazy to think, because when you're just sweating and people are like, oh, I'm wearing a sweater, I'm just like, I can't even think about wearing a sweater or socks or something like that. Oh my gosh. Grant says it's a beautiful 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, that would be so nice if it was 80. I think I mentioned this before, but my mom doesn't like to put on the air conditioner, but the air conditioner is on right now. The air conditioner is on. Hallelujah. Also, real quick, if you're on this live stream and you haven't already, put a like on it. Put a like on it. That lets YouTube know that you guys like the live streams and that the live streams are fun and not boring. So let's see. Lynn says, swap you -1 Celsius in Melbourne. I don't know what's -1. I'm sure Grant knows. Hey, Kigoma, my favorite and most. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yesterday, let's see. Let me think about what's happened in the last few days since the last time I live streamed. Sheesh. I think the last time I live streamed was it a week ago already? Was it on a Thursday? I'm losing days. I think it was on a Thursday. I'm not sure when's the last time I live streamed, but the last time I live streamed, I was telling you guys that, or maybe it was Friday. I think it was I think it was last Friday. So after that, um, I was gonna go to San Diego on the Sunday, because I had a doctor's appointment on Monday, but I ended up going a day early because it was just so hot here, and my friend, who I was staying with in San Diego, she's like, "You could come a day early, it doesn't really matter." So I ended up going down on a Saturday, and it was really nice. It was in the 70s in San Diego. She lives right by the beach, so it was really nice, and we just hung out and we went and had, I think it was on Sunday morning, we went to this, like outdoor Mexican restaurant, and they had um, like breakfast enchiladas and breakfast quesadillas. And it's just mainly like they make those things with eggs. So scrambled eggs, and then whatever you would usually have in an enchilada or a quesadilla. And it was delicious. Um, and what else? I think it was just basically low key, just hanging out with her. And then I had my doctor's appointment, um, which uh, I'll talk about that in a future video or live stream. It's like a lot going on, a lot going on. And oh, and also for those of you that have asked or been concerned or have been like throwing out your prayers. So the reason I came back to California was because I was having some family dramas, family issues, and that's getting better. So I'm seeing a little hope to be able to, get going soon. But now there's a lot of other things going on with my van, which I'm going to be talking about today. Oh, -1 is 30 degrees. Oh my gosh, that is way cold. Oh yeah, thank you, Rebecca. Yes, it was last Friday. Thank you, thank you. Angela says breakfast enchilada. Yeah, it was. Oh, water alarm. So I'm still loving this water bottle that I got at Walmart. This thing really does keep the water cold for a very long time. Which makes a huge difference in wanting to drink the water. And stay hydrated. That's all I can say, because when you're dehydrated, it causes a lot of health problems. Holly Fitting, Allison, can you make your bloopers longer? Very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I try not to do any bloopers. I mean, I try to just film the video and just talk like a normal person, but it doesn't end up that way because, I probably should like prepare or plan when I'm doing my videos. I should write some things down. And there's been times where I have done that a little bit, but usually I don't. I usually just turn on the camera, which is just my phone now. And I usually just start talking, and that's when my words just get all jumbled up and stuff like that. So basically I just clip out all those parts and put them at the end. So, I mean, if I make more mistakes, then they will be longer. Let's see. Hey, Jack Manfredo from Boise. It's a dry heat, 100 degrees. Yes, yes. Dry heat and humid heat, two different things. Hey, Mira Designs. Hey, Brenda says, love the bloopers, don't change. Brenda's like, don't pre-plan, just do what you do. Hey, Jacques. Saw you do the cooking experiment. Wonder how you do the same experiment with an aluminum skillet. She heated the skillet from 9 to 5. The skillet was not that hot. 3 hours later, still not that. Oh, interesting. That's weird. That's crazy. Di says, no, you need to add them. I love them. Yes. So, no, it's okay. Hey, Camping with Cruz, how are you? So if you're looking around and you're like, that's not your van, then you're right. This is not my van. I'm actually at my parents' house right now. And Okay, so let's just jump right into what's been going on with my van. So, I still don't know. So basically, I thought like I went to the mechanic and I thought that what he was gonna do is plug one of those like I don't know what they're called, like OB2 sensors or something like that. I thought he was just gonna plug that like under my dashboard to just like get some information, like a readout or whatever. But I went in there and like I thought it when I went over there, I thought he was just gonna plug it in and then that would just be the end of that. And I would be able to take off within like 10 or 15 minutes. But when I got there, he's like, oh, you're gonna need to leave it because we have to install this thing. And I'm like, what is it? And he really didn't tell me. So I was just like, okay. I thought it was gonna take like an hour after I left the van, but he didn't call me until like 7 hours later to come pick up the van. And then let me get my picture ready, which you guys might have saw it on the thumbnail. When I went to go pick up my van when they called, this was just sitting where my cup holder is. It's like a gauge. I don't know what kind of gauge it is, but it's like a pressure gauge or I don't know, something weird.
It's a fuel pressure gauge.
A fuel pressure gauge, my dad says, a fuel pressure gauge. Let's see.
They suspect the fuel pump might be defective.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm just reading the comments. It was really good virtual backdrop. Yes, it's a good virtual backdrop. Yes, this is my van, but I fit this in there. Yes, and Grant did send me an OBD2 little clippy thing. Free gift with repair. That's funny. Thanks. Yes. So basically, when they called to pick up the van, the mechanic wasn't there, but it was just like the receptionist or whatever, and she handed me my keys, and there was no charge for them to like put this in. But I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I do with this? So basically, what he said I need to do, or what like as I was leaving, he was coming in with another customer, so he really just took like 5 seconds, and he's like, okay, so what you're gonna do is drive around, and the next time your van decelerates, or like when you push on the gas, it doesn't do anything. See if that gauge goes down, like goes like it's been hovering in between 50 and 55. I think it's psi. I don't know. And so if that happens and it goes down, then that's an indication that it's the fuel pump. But if nothing happens when the van decelerates, then it could be something else, and then they'll have to figure that out. So when he did plug in whatever the thing is that they use to like read the faulty codes, the fuel pump wasn't coming up. So that's why he's like, it's a bit curious to like wonder why my van keeps decelerating. So, fuel PSI gauge. Yes, Robert. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you for all the hellos. Hello. So today I drove the van. Like I had other things planned to like do some filming and make some other videos, but I drove for I think over 3 hours, and my van didn't decelerate at all. Nothing happened. So, I drove around for a very long time. I drove it uphill, I drove it downhill, and it was a hot day today. I drove it down to the lower desert, which is 10 degrees hotter at least. I just drove it for a long time. And, when the gas prices are this high, it's just a bummer to be driving that much. And then my gas was empty, so I had to fill it up, and it was $140 to fill it wasn't even all the way empty. So it probably would have been more than $140. But to fill it up today was, after driving all that way, was $140. And I'm just like, it really sucks because I drove all that time hoping, I know it's a weird thing to be wanting your van to break down or wanting your vehicle to break down, but I wanted it to break down so that I could see if the gauge would go down or not, because that's like pretty much the indicator to find out what's the next step. But nothing happened. And it was just, a hot day and just tiring, So I really don't know at this point because nothing happened. So I'm going to find out. I think I'm gonna go into the mechanic shop tomorrow and ask if like, how long I can keep that gauge installed. Like, do they need that gauge? Do they use it for their customers, or is it, like, something that they're okay with me having for a while? Because I think I'll just keep it installed and then drive it around, normally, because I think I'm gonna be leaving my parents' house, maybe, like, Sunday or whatever, I don't know, and just, like, go to another city and drive around and, you know, just go on with my daily habits. And then maybe by doing that, it will happen again. Because the problem seems to happen whenever I'm driving for very long distances and it's a hot day. So the times it's happened the most was when I was driving like 8 or 9 hours a day, which I'm not gonna be doing anytime soon. Um, but even today, after 3 hours, and it was like between 100 to 107 degrees, like when I was driving, nothing happened. So I don't really know what's the next step. Um, so it's kind of a bummer because I really can't, like, I'm ready to move on. Like, I'm ready to get back on my, journey and living in my van away from the desert. So I don't know. Hey, Diamond Butterfly. Hey, Brayden, how are you? Jack says gas is 5.19 in Boise. Brenda says down to 4.35. Ooh, okay, in Ohio. I just paid $5.15, but that was the cash price at Arco in my parents' town. And if it was not going to be cash, if I used credit, it was going to be 5.25. So that's the cheapest that it's been since I've been back in California. 5.15 has been the cheapest. It's been over $6 a gallon. And then in San Diego, I think I caught it for like, I think I found a place that was like 5.69 a gallon. And then today was the first time I was like actually excited about $5.15, which sounds gross because ew. But the cool thing is when I drove down to San Diego, my mom let me use her little Kia Rio. And it was actually funny because when I took off from their house on Saturday, her Kia Rio was halfway full. So I decided just to stop at the gas station and just fill it up to the top. And I put the thing in and, let it go and just went sat in my car. And like 2 seconds later, the thing clicked and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't adjust it right. And it was done. It was done. And half of a tank was $25. I was like, $25. And then on my way, when I left San Diego, it was pretty much like empty. So I filled it all the way and it was like $45. I was like, I wish $45. Every time I fill up my gas, it's like 140, 150, sometimes $160. And I'm just like, $45, that's like so cheap. Like, I don't know. So for those that have like a little car, it might not be like, the most luxurious, but these gas prices, that's a steal. That's a steal. Angela says, "Oh, 403 at the Kroger in Knoxville. Ooh, okay, it's getting down. It's gonna." Tammy says, "Oh, 385. Okay, this is getting good." I don't know because California is always higher. I hate it when that happens, when you finally have professional eyes on the issue and the problem. Exactly. Can be with Cruise, 542 in Indiana. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Johnny has 345 in Houston. Okay, so that's giving me a good feel that things are coming down. Hey, Deb G, how are you? Doing great, doing great. Jim says 379 in Amarillo, Texas. So that seems pretty good. So that's a good, I like when prices are going down in other spots because, even though California is always higher, it gives me some good hope that it might be coming down a little bit. Not fast enough, but at least it's coming down. Like, I don't want to complain. Lynn says gas is crazy here in Australia, about 200 to fuel with diesel. Oh my gosh. Oh, Bella, yes, 649 in the Bay Area still. 450 in Hot Springs, South Dakota. And Grant still has 676 a gallon. Yeah, it's nuts. Like, it is nuts. I'm getting a Chevy Spark. My friends are laughing at me, but I'm going to be laughing when gas prices go back. That's facts. anyone that has a small car, they're gonna be happy. Hey, Robbie says, I had a brand new car that was a lemon. It was haunted. I had the service manager out there in my face, and even the dealer owner, a lady, a lady was out there like, listen, kid, it's fine. Then all of a sudden, what happened? Angel says, why is it always more in Cali? We have like gas tax, like extra taxes for whatever reason. Diesel's 5.79 in Boise. Yeah, diesel's way higher here. Well, not like way higher, but way higher. It stalled, puff smoke, and the wipers and windshield washer came on. That's weird. Brenda says, don't forget to different cars have small gas tanks. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. My granddaughter's VW Beetle only has a 14-gallon tank. Okay. I think my van has a 30-gallon tank. I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure it's at least hit 30. It could have 32 or 35, but I'm pretty sure it's hit 30. Robbie says, the service guy said cuss words, and the lady said, bring it back next week. Well, I don't know, like the mechanic that my parents use, and the reason that I'm going to this mechanic specifically is because he's supposedly fixed stuff regarding the fuel back when I left in March. And so I've already paid for things about this fuel problem. So I don't want to take it somewhere else and have to repay for the same thing. So that's the reason I'm like mainly like going back to him, because I'm trying to like save on money. I think in the future, I probably will find a new mechanic, because not that he's a terrible mechanic, but just because they're swamped. It's a small town. And I mean, it was just like they're back to back booked up. And it took all day for them to just only put that gauge in. And if they do have to fix something like a fuel pump or whatever they find out, the first tentative appointment that they put me for was August 1st. And I'm not trying to stay here in the desert that long. So I don't know. Oh, that car was Christine. Yeah, that sucks. Oh yeah, thank you, Grant, for posting that. Yeah, if you're if you're not a patron yet on Patreon, consider joining. It's just a cool spot that I post more of like as things are happening, like pretty much on a daily basis. I'd say I post pictures or behind the scenes things that I usually don't post on the channel. I'll be adding more like, little video clips that I didn't post on the channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, feel free to join the Patreon, or just at least go check it out. So thank you, Grant, for posting that. Also, let's see. I was going to say something else. Oh, I was going to say that I arrived back from San Diego, and there was a package here at my parents' house, and it was from Grant and his wife, Jackie. And it was so exciting to open that box last night, because there's a few things in there that I'm not going to share today. But we are having a big 50K extravaganza, snack extravaganza on Saturday, this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to be introducing you guys to Grant and Robbie, our two moderators, and Grant's wife, Jackie's going to show up. So this will be the first time that everybody's going to be seeing these people's faces, like for the first time. I'm also going to be revealing the Travel Snacks new logo that I got done like 100 years ago that I never have shown yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing some merch giveaway, which I've never offered merch before. And I'm just starting to dip my toe into it. And so I'm like, you know what, this could be a good way to just get that popped off. And yeah, I think it'll be like t-shirts, tank tops, and maybe some other things. So I think I'll do a couple giveaways on that, and stickers. And then we'll have snacks, and depending on how long all that takes, we might play some games, but I think it's going to be a fun time. And I'll show some of the things that Grant and his wife sent me on Saturday. But some of the things that I can tell you that they sent was snacks. And they're like, for those of you that have been around a while, I've done 2 videos about, well, more than 2, but 2 videos about Grant and his wife sending me snacks from Canada. I've done other Canadian snacks videos. But just knowing the things that I really enjoyed from those boxes, they sent me more snacks, which I'm trying to lose weight. So I was kind of like, oh, but also the snacks are delicious and I already ate some snacks. And they also sent snacks, a few things for my parents too, the things that they know that they ate from my last box that they sent. And they were very excited about getting those things. And they were just like, ooh, this is a treat. So, uh, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say because I want to share the things that they sent, but I'll share them on Saturday. So I'm just super excited about it. Um, and what else? I was going to tell you something else and I should have wrote it down. But today was like so crazy. I literally got back from driving around maybe like an hour and a half ago. I jumped in the shower, took a shower because I was hot and sweaty. And so I was like, okay, I got to take a shower. And then I was just in time to get on this live stream. So it's just been a crazy day. So I didn't have time to like make my little notes that I usually make on before I do the live streams. Oh, we just hit 51K subscribers. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Grant. Grant's always like letting me know like when we hit little milestones. Because I try not to focus on the numbers. I just like to like focus on just building our family, the snack pack. So that's exciting because for a long time, we were growing a lot slower. And I was like, oh, I guess people are over travel snacks. But we still have our family intact. But now it's starting to like build more quickly again. So maybe people are back on snacks. Hey, it's exciting. Snack Palooza. I love that. Brenda says, my granddaughter's VW needed some work, had to make appointment for July 14th. They still haven't looked at it and said they were a week behind. And this was a dealer. Yeah, everything is behind right now. Okay, David Gunn says, the gauge the mechanic installed is a fuel pressure gauge. Check fuel line pressure. Okay, yes. Yeah, so I guess they're just like, from my understanding, they're trying to figure out if it is the fuel pump that's the problem. But nothing happened after driving all day, like not all day, but at least 3 hours today I drove and it didn't stall or anything. So I'm just like, I know there's something wrong. I just don't know what it is. Thank you, Braden. Thank you so much. I do want to share another thing that happened that got my day started on a weird note first. I don't know, for those of you that saw the video I just posted yesterday about my Zero Breeze air conditioner, I still recommend it, but something happened when I was in the low desert last week, sweating and practically passing out. Down in the low desert, it was getting into like the 120-degree range Fahrenheit, and it was just so hot. Like it was just blazing hot, and even at night, which I usually don't have a problem sleeping in the van, but it was just so hot at night. I was sweating, and so I ran that AC a lot. And one of the mornings when I was still sleeping, it was like 6 in the morning, and my inverter has like this squealing alarm. It like lets you know when there's a problem. And it just started squealing at like 6 in the morning. And so I had to immediately turn on my engine because I have a solenoid DC to DC charger situation that charges, that the alternator charges my back battery. So once I started to do that, it started to trickle charge back into my lithium battery. But I knew that I pushed it too far by running that AC for more hours than it should have. And so it happened one more time again. And so the battery would start to get, as the sun was hitting my solar panels, it would start to recharge my battery. But I haven't, like once I got back to my parents, I hadn't been driving that much. So the battery could never kind of get back to the top. And so the other day, when I was in San Diego, my dad called and said, your van is squealing. And I'm like, oh no, like go start the engine. And I wasn't even here. And so when I got back, my refrigerator was off. And in the history of me having my van and my refrigerator, it's never gone off. And so I knew that there was something wrong and my battery wasn't charging. So I went through all the things and like looked at my charge controller, and there's an error. It says over discharged, which is a real bad thing. So I ended up taking it over to a different mechanic this morning, and he put it on like, I don't know what it's called, like a giant charger thingy. Um, and we just stay there for like a half an hour just to get it out of the red zone. And so, and then by me driving for so long today, it started to replenish my battery. But I hope I didn't do any like permanent damage to my lithium battery by, pushing it below the discharge level that it's supposed to. Um, Now my refrigerator only went off like I don't even know, maybe I don't even know how long it was off, but it wasn't like maybe off that long. Um, but it's still working now. Even when it was in the red zone, it was still working. So I don't really know how to read all those things. It's probably something I should invest time in, but knowing myself, I probably won't. Um, but after I drove for 3 hours right now, it was back to, like, 70 or 80%. So that's a good sign because I told the mechanic, I said, "Hey, I gotta go, drive around, but if it doesn't replenish, then I might be back tomorrow." So I'm gonna see how it does overnight to see you know, if it depletes super fast, then there's probably a problem. But if it stays, in a decent range, then I think that's a good thing. David goes, "It could be a bad ground. Chevrolet is known for bad grounds, rusting and breaking." Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check out, like, ask the mechanic further what other things he thinks it might be, and maybe I'll maybe mention that, because I don't know what it is. I know it has probably something to do with the fuel because it only happens, like, when I'm driving, and then it decelerates, and when I try to push the gas, and it's just a weird thing. Shane says, "Okay, so diesel in the UK, I'm paying 8.88 for a US dang. 8 that's almost $10. Oh, Tammy just sent $10. Tammy just sent $25 on what is this? Is this Cash App? Hold on. Oh, thank you, Tammy, so much. Hold on, I'm getting like a lot of um, emails right away. No, I gotta turn my sound on before I can. Thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, the gas prices in Europe are always high. Oh my gosh. That's yeah, it's like a worldwide issue, this gas situation. So I know like a lot of Americans are like, oh, it's just like a problem here. It's not, it's everywhere. And it's like I'm hoping that things start to settle down a little bit to just like it's the prices everywhere, not even just gas, but food and restaurants and just any services, they're all just higher and delayed. Like I have some doctor's appointments that I need to go to, and I'm not able to get uh, like appointments. They're really booked out. I also have a surgery that I'm waiting to get, and like it's just everyone, like everywhere is booked out and expensive, and I'm just like praying that everything kind of settles down, but I've heard that it's probably going to get maybe a little bit more hectic. So everybody just brace yourself, stay close to each other, and pray because it might get worse before it gets better. Um, oh, $10 a gallon, says Rapture Ready in BC. Oh. Braden says, "So why be in the desert? I can barely handle 95 in the Midwest." So I had to come back to the desert because I had a family issue that I needed to attend to, and things are getting better in that area. So I can like not so much leave California right now, but I can, at least leave this area and maybe come back a little bit. I don't know. Gas here in Kansas, 4.27 or 4.29. Oh man, like I'm hoping it'll get back to the 4s. I mean, I hate when I say stuff like that because it's like, I don't wanna even wish 4s. I mean, we should be getting back down to, like, 3s, but I'll just say coming from the 6s and the 5s, I would like to see it come down to at least 4, and that would give a little relief to a lot of people. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of crazy right now. Um, so, uh, it's been a hectic day with just, like, band fixes and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of trying to stay in a good spirit, because when things go wrong, it's like I'm okay with things, like, trying to work themselves out and stuff, but it's mostly, like, when I have a plan in my head of, like, where I wanna be or what I wanna do, and I can't just, like, leave the situation. I have to wait for this to happen or this to happen, and so everything is dependent on other things, and so it's funny because, like, when you live in, like, a house or an apartment, like, in my mentality, it's like, you know, you think like, "Oh, well, if you live in a van, you have a lot more freedom and you can do whatever you want," but you really even if you live in a vehicle, you still can't, like, there's always situations, there's always things that comes up, and it doesn't really matter where you live. Life's gonna keep moving on no matter what. So the best thing is to just, like, stay in as good of a spirit as possible and just, you know, be grateful. Just be grateful for life and just, for the most part, health and family and stuff like that, friends, food. It's always a good thing. Can't wait for fall and cool temps. Yes. Steven Jackson, 450 in New York. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's coming down. Jim says it would be really nice if it would get below $2 again so I can afford a road trip. Yes. Could you even, like, if it was like in the twos, that would be delightful. Jackie says, good way to save gas is to always make your husband drive his vehicle, not mine. I mean, that's a good strategy, honestly. Grant says, true story. True story. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. I don't have a lot, besides that today because I want to like save up all the like fun stuff for Saturday. But we can play some games in the meantime if you guys want. And yeah, I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. Let's play that game real quick because I always love to see or hear, actually see what you guys are gonna eat for dinner. Um, Sometimes it informs my decisions on dinner. Um, let's see. For lunch, I had a tuna sandwich, which was pretty delicious because I did put some Doritos on there. I did. I didn't have breakfast, but I had a tuna sandwich on white bread, which I don't buy white bread, but my parents do, and so um, I was like, I'm gonna take two slices of your white bread, and I made tuna salad, and then I put the Doritos on it, ow, and it was like a nice crunch. Mm. And then I had coffee this morning, and I had two little candies that Grant and Jackie sent, two little peach chewy gummies, and that's it. That's all I've had today. So I'm actually kind of hungry already for dinner. My parents just made a frozen pizza and it smells so good. I'm like, it smells so good. So now I'm kind of wanting pizza, but I don't know. I don't know. Sammy Hooligan, hello. Today is National Junk Food Day, Legal Drinking Age, Belgian Independence Day, and Racial Harmony Day. Oh wow, that's a lot of days. But Junk Food Day, maybe I should go get junk food. Okay, Angela said just had eggs and biscuits, lazy day. Ooh, that sounds good. Eggs and biscuits. That sounds so good. Braden is having pasta. That sounds good too. Hot dogs. I haven't had a hot dog in a while. I had Burger King jalapeno cheddar bites for lunch. Ooh, how are those? I've never had that before. Jackie says, love me some tuna melt. Yes. Jimmy made burritos. HGJ says right now making tater tots and turkey burgers. Ooh, actually, that sounds so good. I have to season the tots for some reason or add it as bland. I agree with that. I agree. You have to have at least a little salt. I'm not even a person that puts salt on stuff, but with those tater tots, I do have to put some. Ooh, Reverend RV, chicken and rice. That sounds good. Everything sounds good right now. Grant says, I have a leftover burger. Awesome. Brenda says, hot ham and cheese on wheat and a few chips, then waffle cone ice cream. Rebecca's having leftover beef burritos. Robbie says, grape jelly on a cheeseburger for the win. That was like a little discussion that we were having is Grant thinks that's disgusting. I think that grape jelly on a cheeseburger might not be bad because in my mind, it's similar to like when I go to McDonald's and I get their egg and cheese biscuit and I put grape jelly on, or I used to get it with sausage. And so I would put the grape jelly, and so it'd be sausage, egg, and cheese with grape jelly. It's like sweet and savory. It's the similar mindset of like chicken and waffles. So I think if you have a burger, now, of course, my mouth is watering, but you don't want to put a burger that you've already put like mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup and stuff and relish and then put grape jelly, I don't think, unless that's what you're saying. But if it was just a cheeseburger with grape jelly, I think it could be good. Brain says, all the grilled cheese and soup sounds good. That does sound good. Grilled cheese sounds great. James says, I love watching. It's hard to see authentic people keeping it real. Just want to say, thank you so much, James. I appreciate that so much. Ooh, chicken and dumplings. Ooh, Michelle says tater tot casserole. Oh, all this sounds so good. Jackie says feta pasta, pesto, and my garden tomatoes. Grant doesn't eat my food. Oh, I love tomatoes. It's just grape jelly on a cheeseburger. That sounds good. See, other people think that's good too. Angela, Rob had a burger when we were in Charleston with applesauce on it and an egg. He loved it. I think that's similar. Like I think you can have that kind of sweetsy thing on a savory. Sammy says spaghetti and meatballs with a side of refried pinto beans. Average meal, but it's okay. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good. Robbie says, yeah, none of those other things, just an onion bun, a red purple onion, and grape jelly. Well, you can skip me on the onion because I'm not for the onions, but yeah, I think that would probably be good. Personally, I would try that. I don't know what I'm gonna have, but something good, something filling. I don't want to have a salad. So Charles says barbecue mac and cheese casserole. I've never had that before. That sounds delightful. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. God bless you as well. I could drive my van into town and go grab something, and wouldn't that be like so great if I just drove for like 10 minutes and grabbed something and then my van broke down and then I could see the gauge. Now, whoa, it's my water alarm. That would be awesome if that happened. I actually think I put the ice in here last night. I don't think I've put ice in here today, and it's so cold. And I think there's ice in here still. This thing is a hit. Like I've been sleeping on these water bottles. I've been super sleeping because I usually don't like that tin feeling, but this is coated like with like, it's not like just like a weird tin feeling. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's a different feel. Brain says, what is your go-to fast food? Oh, I have a total love-hate relationship with Taco Bell. I think I go to Taco Bell because I know what I'm going to get and it's easy and cheap and quick, but I am really mad at Taco Bell because they've really skimped on their quality and the size of their stuff. Um, and they sometimes get my order wrong and stuff, but I don't know why. I think because I'm a person that could probably eat a bean burrito every day. And so I tend to want like a bean and cheese burrito a lot when I'm on the road. So I go to Taco Bell a lot, even though every time I'm like, I swear off Taco Bell, I'm never going to Taco Bell again. They've messed up my order or they've like made the burritos like this big, but then I just keep going. I don't know why. So I'd say I go there the most if I do eat fast food. I've been trying to eat like in my van a lot more, and before coming back to California, I was pretty much eating in my van. What? Verizon sending me a message. Um, before I had to come back to California, I was eating in my van pretty much like every day, 3 meals a day, which is a big deal for me because I'm not even a person that likes to cook, but I was doing really well on that. So now that I've gotten back to California and then things have been like crazy and like I haven't been able to get like a stable like feeling, so I feel like I'm all over the place. I haven't really been able to just like figure out like cooking and eating. So it's been on and off. Robbie says, I bought some potted meat the other day. I honestly would even give that to a possum. I don't know what's potted meat. Hey, Freya, how are you? Stuffed peppers. Good to see you. Good to see you, Freya. Good to see you. Stuffed pepper sounds really good. Nelson says, yo, Allison, hey there. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Awesome. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good as well. Hey, Tracy, how are you? Zestos. I don't know what Zestos. Ooh, Jackie said poutine. Yep. Poutine. I wish I could get that tonight. I would actually get that if I could get that. That sounds delicious. Freya says Taco Bell just relaunched in Australia for the 3rd time. It does not have a good reputation here. Wish we had taco trucks instead. Yes. So, excuse me. Taco Bell reputation has gone down here in America as well, especially since they changed their menu and like I said, their sizes of things have gone down. And there was such a backlash when they got rid of the Mexican pizza that they finally brought it back. But I think it's a total scam and a lie because, I get around. I mean, I'm all over the US. And so the few times that I have gone to Taco Bell, there's always a sign that says sold out on the Mexican pizzas everywhere. Sold out, sold out, sold out. So I really don't think they ever brought them back. I mean, maybe they did, but if they did, it was only for like 5 seconds and you still can't get the Mexican pizza. They're sold out everywhere. So either everyone just like came and got them in like 1 minute or they never really got it. So I think it's a conspiracy. Hey, Miss Horsley, how are you? Robbie says, I worked at Taco Bell in 98 and 99, and it's crazy. The cinnamon twists are pasta noodles that sit in a trash bag before they deep fry. What? I've always wanted to know what those were made of. That is so weird. Awesome, Nelson. Awesome. Potted meat is salty nastiness. Ew, ew, ew. Yes, excited for Friday. Tracy says potted meat is horrible. It doesn't sound appealing. Jack says taco time, crisp meat burritos and tater tots. Ooh, that sounds good. Poutine is like French fries with gravy and cheese curds, and they can make it different ways too, but it's a Canadian thing and it's delicious. Oh, Grant already answered. Braden says they had that sold out sign here too. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's fake news. James says buttered biscuits with syrup, eggs, and bacon. Oh gosh, that sounds so good. And I've been meaning to look up a Pinterest Taco Bell Mexican pizza recipe. That would be a good remake. Oh, hey V, how are you? All right, let's play the game called Will You Push the Button? I think that would be a fun. It's called Will You Press the Button? We'll do 3 of them. We'll do 3 questions. And the way this works is this is an just a website. It's called willyoupressthebutton.com, and it asks like a question. It'll say like, uh, this will happen, but this will happen. And then we collectively will decide if we're going to push the button, the red button, or we can hit the button that says, I will not. No, I'm not going to press the button. And so it's really interesting because after we make a decision about what we're going to do, it'll tell you what anyone else playing this game, like the collective, what the percentage of people that voted the same way. So I think this is a fun game. Braden says poutine sounds good. Yes, it is very good. I've only had it like probably in my whole lifetime. I've probably only had it 4 times, maybe 5, but it's so good. Nelson says, I had the Mexican pizza from Taco Bell and it's very good. It is very good. I haven't had a Mexican pizza in so long. All right, ready, set, go. All right, so the question is, you will be able to become any mythical creature that comes into your mind, but you know every bad thing people say behind your back and can't do anything about it. Did we already do this one? No, I don't think we did this one. So when I think of mythical creature, is that like Bigfoot and like Easter Bunny, or like a centaur, like, or a unicorn, or like mythical? So I guess myth, like anything that's a myth. What do you guys think? Like, first of all, what do you guys think includes the mythical creature? And second of all, would you want that? You will be able to become any mythical creature, but you would know every bad thing people say behind your back. So you would always know that people are talking crap about you. And you'd always hear it says you can't do anything about it. Robbie says, yes, press the button. And oh, he's telling the rules. Yes, press the button, and no, not press the button. Tracy says, nope. Jackie says, Taco Bell fries supreme. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Angela says, no. Braden says, Mothman. I think maybe. Dragons? Missy, I think so. V says, no. Braden says, yes. Braden's getting risky. We did a similar one. Yes. No, better not to know. Rebecca and Jim says no, and Jackie says yes to dragons. Reverend RV, strange question. Lil, why would Bigfoot care? I mean, that's kind of true. Dia says no. Grant says yes, and I'll stab them with my unicorn. I mean, if you were a mythical creature, if you heard somebody talking about you, you probably could do whatever you wanted. Rapture Ready says no, and Missy says no way. Jim says no, do not push that button. Braden says, if I was a mythical creature, I wouldn't care what was said. Probably not. HJ says, I do it because I will know true friends from fake ones, and I get a chance to be a dragon. I mean, being a dragon might be pretty cool. You could fly and shoot fire out of your mouth. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Robbie says, people talk BS all the time anyway, so I'd like to be an alien or Bigfoot. James says no, and Shane says yes. Missy Light says, so I manage a restaurant bar. We are fighting getting what we order from our food supplier. Oh, okay. Taco Bell is running into the same issues. Our driver said 2 local Long John Silver's had no food. Okay, Missy's coming with all the informations. Okay, so that makes more sense. So maybe it's not a conspiracy. It's just that they're not getting their stuff that they need. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Missy. Good to know. Good to know. I feel sad for Long John Silver's that they had no food. Sammy says maybe Slender Man. No, I don't like Slender Man. Jim says mythical creatures vanish into the mist of time. Yes. Tammy says no. All right, so I'd say most of us said no. I'm going to say no. I don't care that much about being a mythical creature. It sounds like fun to maybe like, be like, oh, I could be whatever, but maybe I wouldn't want the stress of like knowing what everyone's saying. I kind of already get that in my comments when people are rude or mean, and I'm like, it gets to a point where you're just like, oh, that sucks that people are saying mean things. So to like always hear all the bad stuff being talked about you, even if it's not true, you'd be just like feeling kind of sad. I wonder if you'll be able to hear good things too, but it doesn't say that, so we have to go with what it says. So we're gonna not push the button. So we're gonna click where it says I will not. Um, Reverend Harvey says, I would be the mythical creature known as Mr. Right. How could someone talk trash behind my back after that? I mean, that's true. Braden says, I'd become the Taco Bell dog. Then for sure, I'd get a Mexican pizza. Yes. All right. So, okay. So we didn't press the button, and it says that 75% of the people pressed the button. 75% of people wanted to be a mythical creature, and only 25 did not. So that's interesting. I would have thought that more people would, but I guess there's a lot of people that maybe want to be mythical creatures. I don't know. All right, so we're going to put the next one. Let me read it first because I was on here one time just like, reading stuff and just like playing this on my own. And there was some really disgusting questions. So I was like, I better read this before I say this in the public eye. Oh, Lord. Okay, this is a weird one, and I don't even know if it makes sense. Okay. Jack says the infamous jackalope. Hey, Brian, how are you? Tracy says, what? We are right, I'm sure. Yes. Jackie says, geez, I work with all women. You know women. So dragon it is. Nelson says, I remember that Taco Bell Chihuahua dog from the commercials when I was a little kid in the late 90s. Yes, exactly. I think in our age range, we do remember it, but a lot of people wouldn't even know that that was a thing. Okay, so the question is, you get to control time, okay? But for 2 months every year, you will be put into an empty mental ward with daily meals found on a tray. You are alone and cannot escape. Time control cannot help you. So basically, 2 out of the 12 months a year, you'll be in an empty mental ward, but you get meals and you're alone. Heck yeah. I mean, you get to control time. And you get to be away from people for 2 months and you get free food. Where's the downside? No, I'm just kidding. That does kind of suck. I mean, 2 months straight without human contact would be, I mean, I talk a big game. I talk a big game about like being an introvert and wanting to be alone, but then I get in my van and I'm like by myself for like a week or two and I'm like, I'm so sad and lonely. So this sounds like a deal, but also I got to think this through because 2 months by yourself, like legitimately 2 months, that seems a little bit lonely. HEC, jackalopes are real. Jackie says, nope. Grant says, uh-oh. Reverend Harvey says, press that button. Crystal says, yeah. Rebecca says, yes. Tracy says, can you stop time and you don't have to go into the middle? No, it says for 2 months every year, you'll be put into this ward. And the last line says, time control cannot help you here. So you have to go. Apparently, it's like part of the rule. Angela says, is there a straitjacket because I can't do that? No, there's no straitjacket. It just says that you'll be put into an empty mental ward with daily meals found on a tray. So I guess magically the tray appears with the food because there's no people because it says you're alone. So I guess magically the food on the tray appears. Braden says, sounds like a nice quiet place to meditate. I mean, you could definitely get like, a silent retreat vibe, and you can just, if you're going to do it every 2 months, I mean, not every 2 months, but 2 months every year, you could prepare for it. I think you'd mentally just be like, okay, I'm going to do this for 2 months. This is my time to refocus. Hopefully you could get paper and a pen. It doesn't say that, but like maybe you could get some books or like prepare that way. It doesn't say you can't do that. So it just says you're going to be alone. So maybe you could have things that will, start to like help your mind to like be creative or something. HDJ says, I won't push the button. Tammy says, yes. Robbie says, can you pause time and go look up skirts? I mean, you shouldn't do that. That's violation. Jim says, no, not pushing the button. Crystal says, alone time and food, special time with God right there. I mean, that is a good way to look at it. If I could have my Bible in there, shoo, 2 months, I would be like even more Bible scholarly than I am now. So that would be if I could bring my Bible and like a notebook, it might be a good thing. Robbie says, I'm just kidding. Missy says, nope. Shane says, no problem. Push button, sleep for 2 months. Yay. I mean, you'd get some excellent rest. If you were in a mental ward and it was so quiet, you would just get like as much rest as you need. Dia says, no. Brian says, no, or not going to happen. Tracy says, push it. I need alone time. Missy says, that's craziness. Brenda says, I could do that sometimes. People just suck and you need a break. That's true. Cian says, heck no. Angela, okay, as long as no zombies or a horror movie vibe, I'll vote yes. No, I'm not. If there was zombies or horror movies, I'd be out. Ted says, I can control time. Watch. On 3, I'll completely stop time for everyone, everywhere in the universe for 5 minutes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Where'd that 5 minutes go? Oh, man. Missy says, can I order what I want to eat? I don't think you can order. I think it just the food magically appears. So you could get potted meat sometimes, and maybe you'll get pie. I don't know. It doesn't say. Ted says, there, good, huh? Braden says, if I could bring the Taco Bell dog, I'll push the button. Aw, I don't think you could get any dogs or any pets. I think you're just like on your own. AGT says, or Robbie says, I'm going with no. Controlling the space-time continuum could change the way God has planned for us. That's a good point. James says 2 months is longer than most think with those circumstances. Yes, 2 months, like in your mind, 2 months goes by quickly when you're doing things. But when you're literally by yourself, like doing nothing, 2 months drags on. I've done 2 silent retreats in my life, and I think they were both for like 3 days each. And I didn't have any electronics. It was just like books and notebooks. And I'm just like, all right, bro. Like, come on now. What if the food was nasty? I know, Jim. Like, if the food was disgusting, that would be a harsh 2 months. So, can Robbie or Grant, can one of you roll back, or anyway, really roll back and see? Because it seems like we're almost even with yeses and nos. Jackie says, if I had Alzheimer's, maybe, but then I would forget to change time. Oh, no, that'd be bad. That'd be bad. 2 months saves a lot of gas money. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. You would definitely save money living that way. I don't know. Like at first, when I first read it, I was all for it. But now the longer I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking I'm going to say no. Like we'll see what kind of like pops off with the answers. But I'm thinking no because first of all, I think what Robbie said is true. Like you could mess with some things, but even besides the 2 months situation, like if you guys saw that movie, what was it called? The one with and I can't remember the actor's name, but what was the one where he had the little clicker, the little remote? Adam Sandler, I think it is, and he could like fast forward time and stuff like that. It ended up pretty badly. Like you could wish away time, or you could stop time and then you'd have to like catch up or something, and you could end up losing more of your like lifespan. And I wouldn't want to do that. Like, you have ups and downs in life for a reason. So I think I'm going to say no, but let's see. If I could take books with me, I would do it. I have a lot of reading to catch up on. Kind of a deep question. That's true. Click. I think the movie, yeah, Click. That was it. Click. Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes. It's like a little remote control. And yeah, Click. No shock treatment and plenty of juicy fruit, and I'm in. Yeah, I think, yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with that because you could end up messing yourself up and other people. So I will say no, but oh no, it's kind of even. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Should we press the button or not? Am I the deciding vote. You get to control time, but every 2 minutes. Yes, with the books. Tracy says yes. Braden says yes. Anyone else? Anyone else? Flip a coin. I don't have a coin anywhere near me. Dang. What do I have around me? I don't have any coins. I have my headphones, my water bottle. Oh, you know what? I wonder if they have a flip a coin website. Flip a coin website. They do. They do. Okay, so we're going to flip a coin. Angela says push it. I think we should do 5 questions. I'm leaning towards yes now. Your call. Let's do a flip the coin. So yes will be heads. We'll push the button if it comes up heads. And if it comes up tails, then we will not push the button. Is that fair? So we're going to flip the coin. Okay, you guys, I'm not cheating. Flip the coin. Heads is yes. Tails is no. We're going to press no. We're going to press no. This is the fair. This is the fair way to do it. What does it say? The flip. Wow, that was flip number 245,406,045. Okay, so we're going to hit no. Crystal says yes, just won't mess with time. I would let it go on its normal. Hey, Miroslav. Thank you. Thank you. So let me get back to this other page. So we're going to hit no because that's fair. Okay, so 53% of people have pressed the button and 47 did not. So more people did press the button. So yeah, it was like kind of even, and everyone has their various reasons. And like, if it was a different thing, like not controlling time, but maybe a different like superpower or something, then maybe I would have like leaned more towards the yes. Because, 2 months is not that long, but, and you could have, your quiet time and stuff like that. But because if it's about time control, that's pushing it. That's pushing it. Nurse Ratchet would have ruined it anyway. Yes, exactly. All right, so let's do one more question because we're at an hour already. Okay, so this one sucks. Oh boy. Reverend Arby, now you lost your chance to do your life all over. Dang. That's okay. I'm happy with my life. All right, so here's the question. You will be teleported to a universe where people fight each other with monsters for fame and money. But you will be 10 years old your whole life. So you're going to be a 10-year-old your whole life. I don't even understand that question. You will be teleported to a universe where people fight each other with monsters. Fight each other with monsters. So I guess you can control monsters, or you can go in a monster suit and they fight each other so that they can be famous and have money. So like, so they're trying to basically be like the elite. And if you win, I guess you get fame and money, but you're going to be 10 years old. What can you do as a 10-year-old with fame and money? That sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds like a terrible. You don't want a 10-year-old that has a lot of fame and money. They're terrible. I'm going to say no. It looks like most of you are saying no. Tracy, Tammy, Shane, Rebecca all say no. Angela says negative ghostwriter. Jim says no, thank you. No, that's a horrible question. I think we're going to do another question. Aisha says, "That sounds like Pokemon." I bet you some kid probably wrote this question. No, my son and granddaughter would say yes. We are in a universe like that. James says, nope. Braden says, not even Pikachu could save that one. Brian says, no. Steve says, absolutely not. Missy says, Allison, nice to see you live again. I am off to my happy place in the morning. Salt, sand, and seashells. Awesome. See you next week. And no monsters. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Missy, for being here. And Missy Horsley says, no. Tracy says, that's weird. Dia says, nope. Okay, so we all agree that's a nope. I'm going to press, I will not. Who are the 41% of the people who have pushed that button? They must all be kids. 41% pushed the button. 59% did not press the button. I don't understand. I don't understand. We'll do another one. Here's like, depends on how much money. If it was $150 million, I'd spend $1 million to give to YouTuber Travel Snacks a whole cruise ship for a year so she could travel all over. Thank you so much. And then I'd spend $5 to buy a pizza slice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a pizza slice. But I'd be 10 years old. So having $1 million, I'd probably do dumb things at 10, you know. All right, so let's do another one because that one was stupid. This is another dumb question. Well, we'll read it. We'll see because some people might be okay with that. You have infinite wealth, love, and health, except you have an uncontrollable bowel and bladder. That doesn't sound like health to me, but okay. So you have infinite. So all the money and all the love and all the health, except for bowel and bladder, uncontrollable. So you don't control it. So you can poop yourself or pee yourself at any moment, but you'd have everything else in your life would be pretty much great, like infinitely great. So do you guys want to push that button? There's someone who delivered me pizzas. Less for $1 million. Yeah, probably at 10 years old, I probably would. Braden says, LOL. Robbie, LOL. Tammy says, no. Robbie says, yes. Aisha says, nope, I won't. Sandy says, no. Angela says, so catheter and colostomy bag it is. Braden says, can we bring back the monster fighting? Deb G says, no, nothing to do with monsters. Yeah, no monsters. Tracy says, ew, gross. No. Grant says, yep, I agree with Angela. Rebecca says, yes, wear a diaper. Dia says no. I'm going to say, let's see, there's love. As an adult, would any of you deliver me a pizza slice for $1 million? Cian says, that's nasty. No way. Brenda says, yes. When you get old, you do it anyway. Ooh, that's a fair point, Brenda. That's a fair point. Brian says, no, thanks. Jackie says, yes, push that button. Yes, there are some pretty sexy pull-ups out there these days. Robbie says, a lot of people have had cancer or injuries that require colostomy bags. That's true. Shane says, diaper and good, yes. So, you guys should know me. You guys should know my answer. I'm going to say yes. If I had infinite wealth and love and health, yes, I will throw on that diaper. I will bling it up. I will bedazzle me some diapers. I would definitely. I'll figure it out. I would have like a catheter that had like a nice little like tube that's all like blinged out. Now the only sucky thing though, I mean, it's totally sucky. Don't get me wrong, all of it. That part's sucky because like if you poop yourself like at a restaurant or like somewhere, like church or something, then you're gonna smell. So you'd have to have like a permanent solution for like freshening, like air freshener surrounding you, like a hat that just does like air freshener. Because if you poop yourself, especially like if it's uncontrollable, like I don't know what their uncontrollable is. Like I don't know if you're like always doing it or if it's just like you can't control it, so it just comes on a normal basis. Like you have your 1 or 2 poops a day. you pee, whatever, and it just happens. Lots of people, like older people have been in accidents or, sometimes you would just have medical issues. That happens for people and they deal with it. I mean, it's not like, no one's ever dealt with it before. So there's got to be solutions. So I feel like if I have infinite love, like I have a partner that like is totally down for me and I have like my friends and family that are totally like love and I have like all the money, you could become like Inspector Gadget. You could figure out all kinds of things. You'd have unlimited monies. I would say yes, personally. Um, is that a bird on your window? It's it's actually these. Hold on, I'll show you. There are these like metal birds that my mom had. So it does look like a bird when it was sitting over there. But yeah, it's just decor. If people loved you despite the issue, then maybe that's true love. That is true love. Robbie says, I sneezed the other day and stove piped a shark. Oh no, that's terrible. Has everyone not seen the diaper video? Hello, of course you'd say yes. Jackie says, thinking the same thing, OG. Deb G, no, I'm happy down by the river. Angela says, unlimited money, unlimited odor control. I literally can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. I mean, that's true. You would have unlimited all the things. James says, with all the money, couldn't you invent something to manage your bills? I mean, I think because the question, like they're saying that that's the rub, that's the thing that you're going to have to deal with. Like, I don't think you can cheat it and be like, I could invent something. So I think you have to live with it according to this question, but you can make yourself pretty comfortable with unlimited money, you know? Missy says, heck to the no. Dory says, hey, everyone. Hey, Dory. Glad I caught the live. Yes, glad you're here. Jackie says, love that bird. Yes. Yeah, it's a cool little, his head is backwards, his or her. There's two of them. So one's backwards and one's forwards. You know what is true love? When your partner takes a shower while you are taking poopy and all sounds and smells in the same bed. No. Like even whenever I was married or had a partner or anything, no. I like to take my poop in peace. I don't want anyone there when I'm just in my zone. And, it's cool if you like have to come in and like grab something and that's fine. I'm not embarrassed, but it's just like having that just time to yourself. I think we all can deserve some 10, 15 minutes or whatever time it takes by ourselves. I don't think we need to have our partner in there like chilling and eating, like gummy bears just sitting there talking to you while you poop. No, I don't think we need that. All right. So we did 3.5 questions, really 4 questions, because that one question was just so dumb that it didn't even make sense. So I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I kind of feel like having pizza because it smells like pizza in here. But I kind of don't feel like driving anymore because I am sick of it. I was driving so much today. All the things you guys said, like, sounds so good. I'm gonna have to go look and see what my parents have in their fridge. Also, because my fridge died in my van, it's back on, but I don't know how long it was off, so I don't know if anything in my fridge and freezer got dead, you know what I mean? Like, it could be not a good situation. So, I could go check and see. I do have some frozen meals in my van, but what if it thawed out and then refroze? That would be bad. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go see what's in there and see what I can dig into, but I have a feeling I'm gonna end up driving and getting something because I don't feel like cooking, and I kind of feel like maybe I might get a Little Caesars pizza because it's cheap and quick. I don't know. What's wrong to eat gummy bears while poop? Uber Eats. Oh, Hey, she said, "You just gave me a great idea." Did you guys know, and it might still be happening, but if anybody here has Amazon Prime, during Prime Days, which we just had like a few days ago, they were offering 1 free year of Grubhub, so you don't have to pay those fees on Grubhub. And so I don't know if it was just for Prime Days, but go on your Prime and see, because I think it's still going on, where you can sign it, like, click, accept, and then you can get 1 free year of Grubhub without fees. Now, I don't know if they have Grubhub in my parents', like, town, because it's a smaller town, but if that's the case, then I wouldn't have to pay fees for delivery. Just a tip. You just gave me that great idea. Thank you so much. Jim says, "Good night, Elsie. God bless you." Yes. So before we go, anyone on here, make sure that you come to the snack extravaganza this Saturday. We're going to be celebrating the 50K subscribers, 50K snack packers, on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. You guys are going to meet Robbie. You're going to meet Grant. You're going to meet Jackie. You're going to there's going to be snacks. Bring your own snacks. I can't supply snacks for everybody, but we'll have snacks. I'm going to be revealing the Travel Snacks logo, and there'll be some giveaways. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. And then we might play games as well, depending on how long. It might be a little bit longer than normal because it's going to be a celebration. And it'll just be a time for me to be able to thank everybody for being so awesome and being part of the snack pack. And we're doing it on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern, because when I first started doing the live streams, it was called Snack Chat Saturday. We used to always have them on Saturdays for like 2 years straight, and that was the time we used to have it. So it's like a nostalgic thing. So I think it's going to be fun. And yeah, I am really looking forward to it. So make sure that you set your, like, something in your calendar on your phone or written down or whatever, and make sure you're there, and it'll be exciting. No, I'm not eating potted meat and mustard for sure. Hey, JJ, how are you? No power here. Oh no. 90 degrees and 100% humidity, no AC. Oh no, I'm going to say a prayer for you, JJ. Missy says, "Thank you, Vance." Awesome. You need a loan to fill your gas tank. I mean, for real. Like, I'm gonna have to go to the bank and get like a full loan just to fill up one time over here in California, Lynn. Microwave some potatoes and open a can of soup. Oh, that's a good one. Arby's. I'm not into Arby's. Dory says, "I just bought the is it bougie RV fridge, and so far so good. Bought it on Prime Days. Awesome. I might be doing my first cameo. Ooh, yes. Might tune in to find out. Yes. Yes, set the reminder. Yes. Awesome. Hug, see you Saturday. Yes, thanks. Yeah, see you Saturday. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I love you all. Have an excellent evening. And I'll see you guys on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And in the meantime, have a great one. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.